Let me start by saying this isn't about miracle cures or overnight transformations. What I'm going to share with you is based on scientific research, clinical observations, and a deep understanding of how our bodies change as we age. If you're over 60 and struggling with belly fat, I want you to know that you're not alone, and more importantly, there are legitimate, natural ways to support your body in reducing it. Understanding belly fat. After 61st, let's talk about why belly fat becomes such a persistent problem as we get older. When you reach your 60s, your body undergoes significant metabolic changes. Your metabolism naturally slows down by approximately 2 to 3% per decade after age 30. By the time you're in your 60s, you might be burning 200 to 300 fewer calories per day than you did in your 30s, even if your activity level hasn't changed much. But it's not just about burning fewer calories. Hormonal changes play an enormous role. For women, menopause causes a dramatic drop in estrogen levels, which directly affects where your body stores fat. Before menopause, women tend to store fat in their hips and thighs. After menopause, that fat increasingly accumulates around the abdomen. For men, testosterone levels decline gradually with age, which also promotes belly fat accumulation and makes it harder to maintain muscle mass. There's another factor that many people don't realize. The type of belly fat changes with age. Visceral fat, the kind that surrounds your internal organs, becomes more prevalent. This isn't just a cosmetic concern. Visceral fat is metabolically active and releases inflammatory compounds that increase your risk of heart disease, type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, and even certain cancers. The natural solution: apple cider vinegar. Now, let me introduce you to the natural remedy I want to discuss today. Apple cider vinegar. I know what you might be thinking. You've probably heard countless claims about various supplements and natural remedies over the years, and you're skeptical. That's actually a healthy response. But apple cider vinegar is different because we have legitimate scientific research supporting its benefits for weight management and metabolic health. The specific recommendation I make to my patients over 60 is simple. 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, diluted in a glass of water, consumed before meals. That's it. No expensive supplements, no complicated protocols, just this simple, affordable kitchen staple that's been used for centuries. Let me explain exactly how this works in your body. Apple cider vinegar contains acetic acid, which is the active compound responsible for most of its health benefits. When you consume apple cider vinegar before a meal, several things happen in your body that can help with belly fat reduction. First, acetic acid has been shown to improve insulin sensitivity. This is crucial for people over 60 because insulin resistance tends to increase with age. When your cells become resistant to insulin, your body has to produce more and more insulin to keep your blood sugar levels stable. High insulin levels promote fat storage, especially in the abdominal area. By improving insulin sensitivity, apple cider vinegar helps your body use insulin more efficiently, which means less fat storage and better blood sugar control. A study published in the Journal of Diabetes Research found that consuming vinegar with meals significantly improved insulin sensitivity in people with insulin resistance. The participants who consumed vinegar showed a 19 to 34% improvement in insulin sensitivity after eating high-carbohydrate meals. Second, apple cider vinegar can help reduce blood sugar spikes after meals. When you eat carbohydrates, they're broken down into sugar and absorbed into your bloodstream. In older adults, this process can cause dramatic blood sugar spikes, which trigger insulin release and promote fat storage. Apple cider vinegar slows down the rate at which food leaves your stomach, a process called gastric emptying. This means sugar enters your bloodstream more gradually, resulting in smaller blood sugar spikes and less insulin release. Third, Acetic acid has been shown to reduce fat storage and increase fat burning. Animal studies have demonstrated that acetic acid can activate genes that increase the breakdown of fat and decrease the production of new fat cells. While we always need to be careful about extrapolating animal research to humans, there are human studies that support these findings as well. One of the most compelling human studies was conducted in Japan and published in the journal Bioscience, Biotechnology, and Biochemistry. The researchers divided 175 obese participants into 3 groups. One group consumed a drink containing 1 tablespoon of vinegar daily, another consumed 2 tablespoons daily, and a control group consumed no vinegar. After 12 weeks, both vinegar groups showed significant reductions in body weight, belly fat, and waist circumference compared to the control group. The group consuming 2 tablespoons lost an average of 4 pounds and reduced their waist circumference by about half an inch. Now, I want to be completely honest with you. These results are modest. Apple cider vinegar is not going to melt away 30 pounds of belly fat on its own. But for seniors who are struggling to lose even a few pounds, this can be a meaningful addition to a comprehensive approach to health. The anti-inflammatory benefits. There's another reason apple cider vinegar may be particularly beneficial for people over 60. Its anti-inflammatory properties. As we age, our bodies tend to develop chronic low-grade inflammation, sometimes called inflammaging. This chronic inflammation is associated with virtually every age-related disease, including heart disease, diabetes, Alzheimer's disease, and arthritis. It also makes it harder to lose weight, particularly belly fat. Apple cider vinegar contains polyphenols and other antioxidant compounds that can help reduce inflammation. By lowering inflammation levels, you're not just supporting weight loss, you're also protecting yourself against age-related diseases and potentially improving conditions like joint pain and cardiovascular health. Digestive health and metabolism. As a geriatrician, I see many patients over 60 who struggle with digestive issues. Heartburn, bloating, constipation, and decreased stomach acid production are all common as we age. Interestingly, apple cider vinegar can help with some of these issues as well. Many people assume that heartburn is caused by too much stomach acid, but often the opposite is true, especially in older adults. As we age, our stomachs produce less hydrochloric acid, which is essential for proper digestion. When you don't have enough stomach acid, food sits in your stomach longer, and the valve between your stomach and esophagus may not close properly, allowing what acid you do have to reflux into your esophagus. Apple cider vinegar can help by supplementing your stomach acid. This improves digestion, helps you absorb nutrients more effectively, and can reduce symptoms like bloating and heartburn for some people. Better digestion also means your metabolism functions more efficiently, which supports healthy weight management. How to use apple cider vinegar safely. Now, let me give you specific instructions on how to use apple cider vinegar safely and effectively. This is important because undiluted apple cider vinegar can damage your tooth enamel and irritate your esophagus. Start with 1 tablespoon of raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar. Look for brands that contain the mother, which is the cloudy sediment at the bottom of the bottle. The mother contains beneficial enzymes and probiotics. Mix this tablespoon into at least 8 ounces of water. Some people prefer to add it to 12 or 16 ounces of water if the taste is too strong. Drink this mixture 15 to 20 minutes before your meals, particularly before meals that contain carbohydrates. This timing is important because it allows the acetic acid to begin working on your digestive system before food arrives. You can do this before 1, 2, or all 3 of your main meals. Most of the research has used either 1 or 2 tablespoons per day total. I recommend starting with just 1 tablespoon per day before one meal. Give your body a week to adjust, then you can increase to 1 tablespoon before 2 meals if you'd like. Never exceed 2 tablespoons total per day, and always dilute it in water. To protect your teeth, I suggest drinking the mixture through a straw to minimize contact with your tooth enamel. After drinking it, rinse your mouth with plain water. Don't brush your teeth immediately afterward, as the acid temporarily softens your enamel, and brushing could cause damage. Wait at least 30 minutes before brushing. Some people like to add a small amount of honey or lemon juice to improve the taste. That's perfectly fine, though the honey will add a small amount of sugar and calories. A teaspoon of raw honey contains about 20 calories, which is minimal, but something to be aware of if you're watching your calorie intake carefully. Important precautions. Before you rush out to buy apple cider vinegar, I need to discuss some important precautions, especially for seniors who often take multiple medications. If you're taking diabetes medications, particularly insulin or sulfonylureas like glyburide or glipizide, you need to talk to your doctor before using apple cider vinegar regularly. Because it can lower blood sugar levels, combining it with diabetes medications could potentially cause your blood sugar to drop too low, a condition called hypoglycemia that can be dangerous. If you're taking diuretics or medications that lower potassium levels, such as furosemide or hydrochlorothiazide, you should also consult your doctor. There's some evidence that consuming large amounts of vinegar over long periods could lower potassium levels, which could be problematic if you're already on medications that affect potassium. If you have gastroparesis, a condition where your stomach empties slowly, often associated with diabetes, apple cider vinegar might not be right for you because it can slow gastric emptying even further. Finally, if you have chronic kidney disease, you should discuss this with your nephrologist before using apple cider vinegar regularly, as your kidneys may have difficulty processing the acid load. Beyond the spoon, a holistic approach. Here's what I tell every patient who comes to me wanting to reduce belly fat. Apple cider vinegar can be a helpful tool, but it's just one piece of the puzzle. For meaningful, lasting results, especially at our age, we need to think holistically about our health. The reality is that belly fat after 60 responds best to a combination approach. Think of apple cider vinegar as one support beam in a structure that includes proper nutrition, regular physical activity, adequate sleep, stress management, and staying hydrated. Each of these elements reinforces the others. Let me talk about nutrition for a moment. As we age, our protein needs actually increase, but many seniors don't eat enough protein. Aim for at least 25 to 30 grams of protein at each meal. This helps preserve muscle mass, which is crucial because muscle tissue burns more calories than fat tissue, even at rest. Good protein sources include eggs, fish, chicken, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, beans, and lentils. Reduce your intake of refined carbohydrates and added sugars. This doesn't mean you can never enjoy a piece of cake again, but white bread, pastries, sugary drinks, and processed snacks should be occasional treats rather than dietary staples. These foods cause blood sugar spikes and promote belly fat accumulation, especially in people over 60 whose insulin sensitivity is already declining. Focus on whole foods, vegetables, fruits, whole grains, lean proteins, and healthy fats, from sources like olive oil, avocados, nuts, and fatty fish. These foods provide nutrients that support metabolic health and reduce inflammation. Physical activity is equally important. I know many of my patients worry about exercise because of joint pain, balance issues, or simply feeling like they're too old. But the truth is, appropriate exercise is one of the most powerful tools we have for reducing belly fat and maintaining health as we age. You don't need to run marathons. Even moderate activity makes a significant difference. Walking is excellent. Aim for 30 minutes most days of the week. If that seems like too much, start with 10 minutes 3 times a day. Strength training is particularly important for people over 60 because it helps preserve muscle mass. This can be as simple as using resistance bands, light dumbbells, or even your own body weight with exercises like wall push-ups and chair squats. Sleep is another factor that many people underestimate. Poor sleep disrupts hormones that regulate appetite and metabolism, particularly leptin and ghrelin. Studies show that people who don't get enough quality sleep tend to have more belly fat. Aim for 7 to 8 hours per night. If you have trouble sleeping, talk to your doctor rather than just accepting it as part of aging. Stress management deserves attention too. Chronic stress elevates cortisol levels, and elevated cortisol is strongly associated with belly fat accumulation. Finding ways to manage stress, whether through meditation, gentle yoga, time in nature, hobbies you enjoy, or social connections, can make a real difference in your ability to lose belly fat. Let me walk you through exactly how to incorporate apple cider vinegar into your daily routine in a way that's sustainable and effective. Over my years of practice, I've learned that the patients who succeed are those who create simple, consistent habits, rather than trying to overhaul their entire lives overnight. Start your morning by preparing your apple cider vinegar drink before breakfast. Keep a dedicated glass or bottle for this purpose. Measure out 1 tablespoon of raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar and add it to 8 to 12 ounces of room temperature or slightly warm water. Cold water is fine too, but some people find room temperature easier on their stomach first thing in the morning. If you're someone who takes medications in the morning, take your apple cider vinegar drink at least 30 minutes before or after your medications, unless your doctor has given you different instructions. This timing helps prevent any potential interactions. Drink your mixture through a straw, sipping it over about 5 minutes rather than gulping it down. This gentler approach is easier on your digestive system. Then, wait 15 to 20 minutes before eating breakfast. Use this time productively. Perhaps do some gentle stretching, read the newspaper, or prepare your breakfast. For those of you who find the taste challenging, here are some variations my patients have found helpful. You can add a teaspoon of raw honey and a squeeze of lemon juice. Some people like to add a pinch of cinnamon, which actually has its own blood sugar stabilizing properties. Another option is to make it into a warm tea by using warm water and adding fresh ginger. The ginger adds a pleasant spiciness and has anti-inflammatory benefits of its own. If you decide to take apple cider vinegar before lunch or dinner as well, follow the same procedure. Consistency is more important than perfection. If you miss a dose, simply continue with your next scheduled time. Don't double up to make up for missed doses. Sample meal plans for belly fat reduction. Now, let me share some meal plans that complement your apple cider vinegar routine. These are designed specifically for people over 60, taking into account common dietary needs, preferences, and potential sensitivities. Day 1 Sample Menu. Start with your apple cider vinegar drink 15 to 20 minutes before breakfast. For breakfast, have a 2-egg omelet made with olive oil, filled with spinach, mushrooms, and a sprinkle of cheese. Add a slice of whole grain toast with a thin layer of natural almond butter. Include a small bowl of mixed berries. This breakfast provides about 30 grams of protein, healthy fats, fiber, and antioxidants. Mid-morning, if you're hungry, have a small handful of raw almonds and an apple. This provides sustained energy without spiking your blood sugar. Before lunch, take your second apple cider vinegar drink if you're doing 2 per day. For lunch, prepare a large salad with mixed greens, grilled chicken breast, cherry tomatoes, cucumber, shredded carrots, and a quarter of an avocado. Dress it with olive oil and lemon juice. Have this with a small whole grain roll. This meal is rich in protein, fiber, and healthy fats that will keep you satisfied throughout the afternoon. For an afternoon snack, enjoy Greek yogurt with a tablespoon of ground flaxseed and a few walnuts. Greek yogurt is excellent for seniors because it's high in protein and calcium, supporting both muscle and bone health. For dinner, have baked salmon seasoned with herbs and lemon, served with roasted Brussels sprouts and sweet potato. Salmon provides omega-3 fatty acids that reduce inflammation and support heart and brain health. The combination of protein and fiber-rich vegetables will keep you full and satisfied. If you want an evening snack, have a small piece of dark chocolate with at least 70% cocoa content or some sliced vegetables with hummus. Day 2 Sample Menu. Begin with your apple cider vinegar drink before breakfast. Breakfast could be overnight oats made with rolled oats, unsweetened almond milk, chia seeds, cinnamon, and topped with sliced banana and a tablespoon of natural peanut butter. This provides complex carbohydrates, protein, healthy fats, and fiber for sustained energy. Mid-morning snack. Cottage cheese with sliced strawberries and a sprinkle of pumpkin seeds. Apple cider vinegar drink before lunch. Lunch. Turkey and vegetable soup made with plenty of beans, carrots, celery, tomatoes, and spinach. Serve with a small whole grain roll. Soups are wonderful for seniors because they're hydrating, easy to eat, and you can pack them with nutrients. Afternoon snack. Sliced bell peppers with guacamole. Dinner. Grilled chicken breast with quinoa and steamed broccoli with a drizzle of olive oil and garlic. Quinoa is a complete protein and provides all essential amino acids, making it excellent for seniors who may not be getting enough protein. Evening snack if desired. A small handful of mixed berries. The importance of hydration. Something I haven't emphasized enough yet is hydration, which becomes increasingly important as we age. Many seniors don't drink enough water, partly because the sensation of thirst diminishes with age. Dehydration can slow your metabolism, make you feel fatigued, and actually make it harder to lose belly fat. Aim for at least 8 glasses of water throughout the day. Keep a water bottle with you and sip regularly. If plain water seems boring, add slices of cucumber, lemon, lime, or fresh mint leaves for flavor without adding calories or sugar. Herbal teas count toward your fluid intake as well. One tip: drink a full glass of water when you wake up, before your apple cider vinegar drink. After 7 or 8 hours of sleep, your body is naturally dehydrated. That morning glass of water helps kickstart your metabolism and prepares your digestive system for the day. Exercise recommendations for seniors. Let's talk more specifically about exercise for people over 60 who want to reduce belly fat. I want to give you concrete, safe recommendations that you can start implementing this week. First, always check with your doctor before starting a new exercise program, especially if you have any chronic health conditions or haven't been active recently. That said, most people over 60 can safely do some form of exercise. Walking program. Walking is the most accessible form of exercise for most seniors. Start where you are. If you can only walk for 5 minutes, that's your starting point. Walk 5 minutes every day for a week. The next week, increase to 7 minutes. Keep adding 2 to 3 minutes each week until you reach 30 minutes. Try to walk at a pace where you can talk, but are breathing a bit harder than normal. This moderate intensity is ideal for fat burning. Walking after meals is particularly beneficial because it helps lower blood sugar spikes. If you have knee or hip problems, consider walking in a pool. The buoyancy of water reduces stress on your joints, while providing gentle resistance. Strength training. Strength training is crucial for people over 60. It preserves muscle mass, strengthens bones, improves balance, and boosts metabolism. You don't need a gym membership or expensive equipment. Start with bodyweight exercises. Chair squats are excellent. Sit in a sturdy chair, stand up, then slowly lower yourself back down. Do this 10 times. Rest and repeat for 2 to 3 sets. This strengthens your legs and core. Wall push-ups. Stand arm's length from a wall, place your palms on the wall at shoulder height, and do push-ups against the wall. This builds upper body strength without the difficulty of floor push-ups. Resistance bands are inexpensive and versatile. You can use them for bicep curls, shoulder presses, and rows. Start with light resistance and focus on proper form, rather than trying to do too much too soon. Aim for strength training 2 to 3 times per week, with at least 1 day of rest between sessions to allow your muscles to recover. Balance and flexibility. Balance exercises are essential for preventing falls, which is a major concern for people over 60. Simple balance exercises include standing on one foot while holding onto a counter for support, then gradually reducing how much you hold on as your balance improves. Tai Chi and gentle yoga are excellent options that combine balance, flexibility, and strength training. Many community centers and senior centers offer classes specifically designed for older adults. Stretching should be part of your daily routine. Spend 10 minutes each day stretching major muscle groups. This improves flexibility, reduces stiffness, and can help prevent injuries. Success stories from my practice. Let me share some real examples from my patients, with their permission, of course. These stories illustrate that meaningful change is possible at any age. Margaret came to see me at age 67, frustrated because she had gained 30 pounds since retiring, most of it around her midsection. Her blood sugar was creeping into the pre-diabetic range, and her blood pressure was elevated. She felt tired all the time and had trouble keeping up with her grandchildren. We started her on the apple cider vinegar routine, 1 tablespoon before breakfast and lunch. More importantly, we worked on her overall lifestyle. She committed to walking 30 minutes every morning. We adjusted her diet to focus on whole foods and adequate protein. She started attending a twice-weekly strength training class at her local senior center. 6 months later, Margaret had lost 18 pounds. Her waist measurement decreased by 3 inches. Her blood sugar normalized, and her blood pressure improved enough that we were able to reduce one of her medications. But what made her happiest was that she had more energy and could easily keep up with her grandchildren at the park. Then there's Robert, age 72, who came to me with significant belly fat and a recent diagnosis of type 2 diabetes. He was overwhelmed by all the changes he felt he needed to make. We started simple. Apple cider vinegar before meals, and a commitment to walk for just 10 minutes after dinner each evening. As those habits became established over a few weeks, we gradually added more changes. He replaced his usual breakfast of cereal and juice with eggs and vegetables. He started doing chair exercises while watching his morning news program. 8 months into his journey, Robert had lost 25 pounds. His diabetes was well controlled with minimal medication, and he told me he felt better than he had in 20 years. These patients succeeded not because they had more willpower than anyone else, but because they made consistent, manageable changes and gave those changes time to work. They didn't expect overnight miracles. They understood that at our age, sustainable change happens gradually. Final thoughts and your action plan. We've covered a lot of ground in these 2 parts. Let me summarize the key action steps you can take starting today. Step 1. Purchase raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar with the mother. You can find this at most grocery stores or online. Step 2. Start tomorrow morning with 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar diluted in 8 to 12 ounces of water, taken 15 to 20 minutes before breakfast. Do this through a straw to protect your teeth. Step 3. Evaluate your current diet. Identify 1 or 2 simple changes you can make this week. Maybe it's replacing your usual breakfast pastry with eggs and vegetables, or swapping your afternoon candy bar for nuts and fruit. Step 4. Commit to moving your body every day, even if it's just a 10-minute walk. Put it on your calendar like any other important appointment. Step 5. Schedule an appointment with your doctor to discuss your plan, especially if you're taking medications or have chronic health conditions. Step 6. Take your baseline measurements: weight, waist circumference, and how you feel. Take a photo if you're comfortable doing so. These baselines help you see your progress over time. Step 7. Be patient and consistent. Give this approach at least 12 weeks before deciding whether it's working for you. Remember, reducing belly fat after 60 isn't about achieving some idealized body type from a magazine. It's about improving your health, reducing your risk of chronic disease, maintaining your independence, and feeling energetic enough to enjoy your retirement years doing the things you love. Your body is remarkably resilient and capable of positive change at any age. I've seen countless patients in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s significantly improve their health and body composition. You can be one of them. This simple practice of taking apple cider vinegar before meals, combined with thoughtful attention to nutrition, regular movement, adequate sleep, and stress management, can lead to meaningful improvements in your belly fat, your metabolic health, and your overall quality of life. You deserve to feel good in your body at every age. You deserve to have the energy to pursue your passions, spend time with loved ones, and maintain your independence. These goals are achievable, and I hope the information I've shared gives you the tools and confidence to pursue them. Thank you for your time and attention. I wish you health, vitality, and success on your journey to reducing belly fat naturally. Remember, every small positive change you make matters. Start where you are. Be consistent, be patient, and be kind to yourself. Your best years can still be ahead of you,